Y'all saw that? Thought nobody saw that. It is a blessing. I heard you. Thank you. Well, expectation is a part of what it is we need to realize. And sometimes unfortunately, the way in which it may make us feel, we don't see it, or we lose sight of or trust in that thing that is always available, ready, willing, and able to support us through whatever it is. And that's why Reverend Lisa came up with the peace beyond understanding. So first of all, thank you all for coming and being here and opening yourself up to the presence that exists in this very room. Actually, it exists everywhere we go. It's just that we don't always be conscious of it because of the busyness, the steadiness of our life. We walk in our life as though not connecting or believing that our purpose is coming through us as we recognize the spirit that is abundantly free and operating in us. See, these things that happen to us helps us understand who we are, but because of our feebleness, we sometimes think that we don't have the power or the ability to overcome. When overcoming is only an idea, it's a thought. And we only get there as we speak to the presence of the power of the Father God in which we named it, so that we can clarify the power that works within and that who will always be with us, because we understand the Father as being one who is there for us in all circumstances, not in some, not. The Spirit loves us. That's how much it loves us, that it provides everything. And it is only when we say yes to it that it will provide us what we need. So this peace, this understanding, this recognition that we need is a connection, that the Father is present. So before I get going, actually, I want to start in Philippians 2 and 5 through 11 to set this all up so that we see who we are and why we must think the way that we must think to receive what it is that we're all looking for. So in 5, it says, reason this within you, which Jesus Christ also reasoned. Believe this, know this, say this to yourself so that you can see it within yourself. Reason it within yourself to become it. Who being in the form of God, he did not consider it robbery to be equal to God, but made of himself no reputation and took upon himself the form of a servant. So he just humbly submitted himself to do the work and was in the likeness of men. So the presence is in this, just like humans, as we are, the form. And being found in this form of man, he humbled himself and became obedient to death, even the death of the cross. So in other words, what it's saying is became obedient to understanding that I am connected to this power as my source, not as my experiences, because the experiences will fool us. Therefore, God also has highly exalted him and given him a name which is above every name, because he recognized that the power was in him. That it tells us that we must bow and we must confess the name of heaven on this earth and all those that are underneath, and every tongue should confess that Jesus Christ is the Lord of glory and God of the hosts. See, it is the recognizing of this power that we all are fulfilled. It's just bursting in us. See, because in the beginning, when life was called forth, each and every one came with a different way to be who it is that they are. And individually, we come together as a puzzle to reveal the beauty of life that is necessary for us to live a wonderful life. It is not the struggle. It is not the pain. It is not the hurt. It is the understanding that I have the ability to overcome that which ails me. So it goes on in Philippians 4:6, it says, don't be anxious, but in everything by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your request to God. So when it happens, whatever it may be, humbly submit that I am open to receive the answer that is required for me to fulfill my destiny, my strength. See, so the peace of God that surpasses all understanding, or what the scripture is advising or recommending to us, is that it is something that it is not really beyond our understanding. It's sort of like, as we currently are going through or experiencing what we're going through, we don't understand how the power is operating for us on our behalf. Because sometimes we think that we should not even be in this position, even though we're the ones who made the decision to be in it. Figure that one out. So basically what it's saying is that because it is not yet clear to us how spirit operates through us, and we don't continuously call on them, we make these what is called a sin, a mistake. We miss the mark, the development of who we are. And it is only in the ignorance of and the application of what we're understanding. That's it. You see, so once we grow in our understanding and we discover that the Bible is providing these ideas, these suggestions, just to discover ourselves, just to discover what life is about and what we need to do. See, and once we recognize these abilities, then we will understand our character, how the power that we have. And then we can begin to process this experience in our life. See, our response to the problem is an indicator of our belief in the spirit. See, that's how we respond. And when we respond negatively, it is because we don't believe. And it's not that we don't have belief, we're just not believing. So here is a few attributes that are of God that we should accept. And we all say them, we know what they are. We've all been told God is love. God is love. That's the first thing you learn in Sunday school. God is love, right? And so this love, it will not change based on conditions or circumstances. God is spirit. God is not matter, but God is in all things and transcends the physical universe. God is peace. God will not panic. God is not gonna fold up because it got rough, it got challenging, it got a little difficult. God is not gonna quit. God is infinite. God is unlimited in its power, knowledge, presence, and blessings. They're not gonna stop because we are not prepared to receive it. It's just that the person who opens himself up to it is the one who's getting it. And that's why we're not supposed to look around and judge. We're supposed to look at ourselves and say, this is what I need to do. I need to become more available for spirit to operate in and through me so that I can reveal the good that's mine. Because all good is necessary. And we all need good so that we can continue to be honorable, faithful in this life that we're all living, looking for something to make us feel better than we felt yesterday. God is just. He is fair and impartial. Don't matter who calls on it, don't matter who uses it, just call his name. See, the key to this is that we're supposed to call on him prior to moments of despair. Recognize when we need him. This is the vision that we're supposed to get as we're living. See, because the trouble, the confusion is only saying, try it this way. See, this ain't working right now. Come on back over this way and try it and operate like this. But what they say, a hard head. And that's, we get ourselves in the trouble ourselves. It's us. You know, a lot of times it's just that the way in which we've been taught things. And because we've been taught that this is the way that I need to be aggressive this way in order for me to get what I need. Because I don't want them stepping on me, stepping over me. But if you recognize who you are, no one is stepping on you. It's the thought that you're putting in your own mind about somebody taking advantage of you. Because when I know what I know, you can't take nothing from me. Because I'm walking in my own power, in my own presence, in my own hopes, in my own desires, not in what you think about me. Because our thoughts is the power that's creating it all. All of it. So we got to raise our thinking, raise our belief. And and all it's saying is have a better tomorrow than we had yesterday. Believe it don't matter what the change is. It don't matter how long it may take, because time is infinite. Man, we caught up in so much. Oh my goodness. Let me stay focused here. Let me stay focused. Come on back. Thank you for that. Thank you. Because he's dropping it in, so I have to, thank him. But at the same time, realize that, how it was prepared is also is lining up so that it can point direction and ways so that we can see how to make adjustments in our lives, if you will. So we have to realize we are one with him. And we have to unify with him. And this is a constant theme, because the more consistent we are with doing it, the better we are. Repetition, following up, being just over and over, you're just going to get better at it. It just gets easier. And then the one thing, we have to be like Jesus in John 11:42. He says, I know Jesus always hears me. Like I know he heard me. I'm not even going to contemplate. The Father always hears me. And he's just thankful for that. But not us. He didn't hear it. I didn't get it. I asked for them shoes that I saw and I didn't get them. So, he ain't honoring my prayers today. And what we don't realize is that that's the setup for the setback, right? Because we're speaking this into our lives. This is what we believe about what's happening. But see, we don't know that because we're like, man, I ain't doing nothing. I'm just saying, but it didn't come, right? And it's like, no, we have to see that, okay, what is it that I need to do to receive this good that I'm seeking? What is it that I need to do? See, like when Jesus, when he got too busy, too hectic, It says Jesus went to the mountaintop. But see, we'll say, okay, he went to the mountaintop. So they lived in Jerusalem and it was hilly and, so he just went up there and just was free. Yeah, perhaps, but basically it's about raising our own consciousness. Like, this is what it's really saying. We have to go higher than what we're currently thinking about this experience. And sometimes, being who we are, it's like, well, I am hurting, and it does, like, it made me cry. Yeah, it will, because it's what we think about the problem. Yes. That's it. It's what we're thinking about it. And I'm not saying don't cry. That's not what I'm saying. Because sometimes we need to let it out, because the crying is like murmuring and it's going to make us think about what it is that we should be doing. Yes. So cry, but cry in love. Right. Don't cry in woe. Cry in yes for opening my eyes to what I'm going through. Make me feel greater and stronger and more powerful that I can change. That's what we cry for, that our hearts become open and our minds become aware of what our next step is. That's what we need to be crying about. See, our mental treatment must have an expectation of the thing required or desired. The ideas we have must be one of knowing that the Lord is providing all that we need on a daily basis. This is why Jesus said, give us this day our daily bread. And even if you can't think of your own, I know some of us pray, we say some pray, right? Or because they eloquently can have words, and don't worry about the eloquency of it. Just speak it into it. Just speak what it is you want. Just speak what it is that you want, that you need. That boost of love, that boost of understanding, that boost of desire of just, I can do it, I can go. Lift my legs up for me. Help me walk stronger this day. Help me go to the corner. Help me go around the corner. Help me lift myself up. Help me get out of this bed. It is in the requesting of what it is that we want that will propel us forward. Don't be afraid to call on his name. I know this the 21st century. I know it ain't something to be standing up and, thank you, Lord, thank you, Lord. Look, do it your way. Call on God your way, in the way that you see it. Because in the book, they even say, go into the chamber, get away from all of it. So you go wherever that is. If it's in your car, if it's in, your prayer room, wherever, in the back, wherever, go and get it. Go and speak to yourself and get that motivation. Because if you don't motivate yourself, my God, it's hard. It's tough. It's tough. You have to motivate yourself. But know that it is that spirit in this ether that is pulling, guiding, and directing us, that is delivering us. It is God that is doing it all. Because on our own, we can't do it. We look too broad. We look too far out in the wilderness. We're looking too far out, way out yonder, instead of just looking what's right in front of us, right? And then we'll say, well, this one, they don't have what I need, or he's too tall, he ain't tall enough. He handsome, he too handsome. He too dark. It's like, quit it. Like, what is that? Like, what do you want? Like, I made them all. What do you want? Like, we put all these different descriptions on it. This is why it's beyond, because we have yet to comprehend what it is that Spirit is revealing and telling us to do. we throw it away because we don't believe. See, we are to believe that the law or this creative force life is working on our behalf. And before we can expect God to deliver, receive, or assist us, we must believe that we are connected to it. That's the first thing we have to do. And so in Psalms 82:6, it says, ye are God's, and all of us are children of the Most High. I don't know how else to make it so plain, but I guess because of some of our birthing in this experience, some of us, our physical fathers wasn't good. But this is going beyond that. And we have to see the good that exists in this world. And that's the good we have to see. And we have to know that whatever that physical father done is because of what had happened to him, and his understanding wasn't opened up so that he can be what it is that he needed to be for you. Amen. Yes, it was wrong. Yes, it's a shame. Yes, it's despicable. Yes. But that man is hurting. That man has not recognized who he was in his life. That pain that he feels, that you feel, no one explained to him why he's hurting so bad. So therefore, he's not able to stand up and teach you and carry you on his shoulder like a father does and lead you out. But don't judge the man, love the man, and know that when the awakening comes, the two of you will come together. Bless and let it be. Let's be on one accord. We don't have to understand why. They don't have to tell us, yeah, they didn't tell us, they didn't talk like that. But they did the best they could to reveal to us that they us. I showed Lisa a picture, of my father when I was a small boy. And we was sitting there because we talk about this, and, not just her and I, but be around people and they say, my father, wasn't this or that. And it's like some of us grew up in these periods where men didn't say, I love you, and men didn't hug you. Like, that's just the way it was. That's just the way it was. But you can't look for that as validation. You have to know that the validation is in the provisions that they were able to provide. Whatever it was. And for some of us, it wasn't much, but they provided what they could. And so in this picture, my father, I think it's just two of my brothers in this one, and my father is sitting down, and he's down with us, but he's not touching us. And I was explaining to Lisa that didn't make me feel like he didn't love me, though, because I knew that the provisions was the love. But I know for a lot of us, that's hard to accept because we speak that now. Like how hurtful it was that my father never told me he loved me. And that's a lot of us, unfortunately. But their persecution, we don't know it. We don't know it. We just need to bless them for standing up for who they were and doing the best that they could with what they had. Those men were strong. Those men are strong. They could keep quiet, be hurting, and keep quiet and won't say a word and be hurting. Those men were strong. Those men brought us through some turbulent times. Our mental equivalent must be on one accord, and we must accept that we are co-creators with this thing called life. In John 5:17, when Paul was talking and Jesus had did a blessing, it says that my Father worketh even until now, and I work. So Fillmore explains it like this. He says, God creates in the ideal, and man carries out the manifestation in the manifest world what God has idealized. So we're co-creators. We're working together in this thing. And that's why everything we see on this earth is things that have came from the minds of men and women. And so we have to, it is best for us in our lives to accept this spirit, and from today forward, allow spirit to work in us, through us, as us. And that way we will perfect what it is we're anticipating and wanting to create. See, our unification should be like Jesus unified. He said the Son can do nothing of himself, but what he seeth the Father doing. For what things soever he does, the Son also doeth in like manner. So what is it that we want? What is it that we want to do? See, we have to believe that it's possible. And so prior to this event, Jesus healed a man at the pool of Bethesda. Right? And this man, he was sick for a very long time. They say 38 years. And on this day in which Jesus was doing it, he wasn't supposed to do it, because at this day and this time period, you wasn't supposed to heal on the Sabbath. Right? So basically, he was working in opposition to what those days customs were. Right? So you got to be bold to do that. Right? Because they come in, and like the book said, then they came after him. They wanted to persecute him, right? Because of that. But Jesus, being Jesus, knew that the Father was with him. See, it's not what you do to me, it's what I reveal to those who are coming after me. See, it's changing the standard of life. It's improving life. See, and this is what we're all supposed to be doing. Because if it wasn't for those men I just spoke about, we wouldn't be sitting in this room. We still would be trying to get in this room. You see, so this is why we have to understand the power that we have. And so when they approached to Jesus to acquire it, Jesus said, look, man, I'm here to reveal to you what Moses told you, that I was coming. See, we have to believe that we're coming to change the conditions of this world. And I get it. Some of us not going to be governors. I get all that. But guess what? We all got a family. And we all know that our family is watching us. And so because our family is watching us, we got to improve our family. And as we improve our family, then what happens? The neighbors start operating and being a little better. And then after that little community goes, then the next community, then the county, then the state. Why? Because everybody is working in union, doing the good that we're supposed to do to change this world. If it ain't working right, it's going to take each and every one, hand in hand, to get it done, just like we did. We shall overcome. We didn't know how. No one knew how, knew what it was going to look like. Because now, it's people who say, man, we shouldn't have did it. I know y'all heard it. Why did we do that? We lost this. We lost that. Wake up. Life is changing for the better, and we are supposed to make it even better. Don't stop because you got your equal share. It still takes work. Still takes work. So in 19, it goes on and it says, truly, truly, and this is saying who we are as representatives. I say unto you that the Son can do nothing of his own accord, except what he sees the Father doing. For the things which the Father does, the same the Son does also. And then 20, for the Father loves his Son, and he shows him everything that he does. And he will show him greater works than these, so that you may marvel. For just as the Father raises the dead and gives them life, even so the Son gives life to those whom he will. For the Father does not judge any man, but he has entrusted all judgments to the Son. Go be who you can be. See, we're judging those conditions and those circumstances, therefore we're not empowered to reconstruct them. Right? We can't build it. We think, well, you know, I go over here and ask them, their cement is not right. You know, see, he don't negotiate with me. I don't like the way, you know, he talked to me, so I don't want to use him. But these are all things. We got to remember that these are the things that are setting us up not to see the good in what we need. Because even though there may be something that I don't recognize within you, I should always pray to see the good in you. Always. Because when I ask to see the good in you, then I could eliminate that negative thought that I'm holding in my own mind that won't let me address you. And that's what we do. Like, we'll hold on to these things. And then we see them, here they come. Here they come. Yeah, you know, man, when I was this, she said this. Honor yourselves. Honor ourselves. Just the respect and the homage that we need to have for life.
But you have to go to the palms.
When we recognize the same power that Jesus used that is working in us, that is when we can activate the peace that we are seeking. It is not beyond our understanding. It is waiting on our understanding of it in the application of it in our circumstances.
Oh, we somebody with two sides.
When we apply the method that Jesus taught, our results will change.
Oh, gosh.
We will receive the request. We will be healed. And our lights will shine everywhere we go because of our understanding of who we are. Therefore, yeah, it's a glow when you see me because I'm believing and trusting in the power that's in me. It's not me. It's the power that's in me that I'm calling on that you don't hear me say. Like that song, the Mary guy, I got all these cars, but they don't see me praying. See, we got to stay in there. That's all it's saying. Stay in that room. Stay in the room. Stay prayed up. And if the word of God is in all creation, then we must not be using it in accordance to its operation. If we don't recognize it in ourselves, or we don't believe it works for us like it may work for others, those suggestions weaken the power we have in the spirit of our acceptance of the way it operates through us. Peace beyond understanding is not in the operation of it, but the acceptance of it working through us on our behalf. Psalms 37:23 reminds us, the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. As we walk in accord to the methods of Christ, our comprehensions will increase. And we will grow in spirit, and we will grasp the understanding, and we will walk by faith and not by sight. Isaiah goes on to say, but those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings of eagles and fly and run and grow and not get weary. Call on this Lord and we will not faint. We got to call on this power, this presence. We got to give up the ghosts that they used to say. Give up these beliefs that we think we know, that we don't understand, and therefore we're using them as burdens to hold us down. We got to give up the ghosts. That's why it's called ghosts, because you don't see it. But we're thinking it and we believing it in our minds, and therefore we operating like it got power over us. That's what's holding us back. It's not that God don't want, yeah, he wants you to have it. Well, there's nothing, bring it. Whatever it is, call it forth, bring it into existence. All that I have is yours. What is it that you see? What is it that you want? What is it that you're willing to do to bring it forth? Are you trusting in me? Are you believing that I'm one with you? Because if you do, I will bring it to this earth. It's coming out. And if you ain't ready, somebody else is going to catch it and they're going to bring it into existence. You want to be free? Accept the freedom. It's here now. The physical restraints has been removed. Now it's mental restraints. It's time to stand up. It's time to take it. It's time to walk through this valley of the shadows of death. We got to believe these arrows are not going to hurt. They're not going to sting. They're not going to bring us down. We have to understand that there's nothing can stop us, nothing that can stop us except our thoughts and belief in the circumstances that we find ourselves in. They don't hurt. They're building blocks. They're saying, get up. They're saying, recognize me. Know that I got you. Stop falling asleep, laying down because it don't feel good. Get up. It's your time to live. Get up. It's time to live. I know it's hard. Yes, it's hard. It's always been hard. But if you don't fight back, if you don't push through, oh, we're not going to make it. And this is the way it is for everyone. And the person that we look at and we think they got it made, oh, they got struggles too. That's why we say the rich got problems. Look, everybody got a problem. It's trying to understand what you got to do with the problem. What's the solution? It ain't waddle in the misery. Look for the circumstance. Where's the solution? How can I succeed in this manner? What is it that's keeping me from seeing my freedom? What is it that's keeping me from understanding that I got the power that I need? What is that? Why am I holding on to this? Help me set myself free so that I can walk away from this bondage, this captivity that I got on myself. Because we all know that physically no one can restrain us. We all know this now. We all know it now. But it's those old things that we think about that's got us hooked. We freeze now. And that's why it says, fear not, my child. The Lord thy God is with thee. And wherever we go, and wherever we may find ourselves, in the midst of it, God is there. No matter where we are, God is there. So in closing, there's nothing beyond our understanding. We may not have clarity or apply the method correctly, but once we have a realization, then we are supposed to change our ways. The method is the key, and it begins when we allow him that has created us to lead. Let God do the work. Follow the lead and begin to comprehend, and life will bless us now and eternally. And so it is.